Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to show you a cool new creature bait mold that'll pretty much do everything for you except set the hook. Today we're going to show you guys the 4.25-inch old Buzzard mold from Hog Salad. It is a 6-cavity creature bait mold. They do offer a tail mold for this as well. And today we're going to show you a couple cool new colors. That one of them is basically a color we learned from Remelt that we're going to try to duplicate. And then the second one is going to be kind of a twist on something that we do with black and blue. So let's get over here and get started. So like I mentioned in the beginning, I'm going to try to duplicate a color that I stumbled across by mixing up some Remelt. So we're going to start with our Lava Craw from Barlows. We're going to take our 1/8 teaspoon, and it's going to be a pretty heaping scoop of this. So the color that I made, I don't actually know how much was in each one, because like I said, I took some of my leftover pucks, mixed them together, and I don't have any of the baits to look at because I've used them all and I don't have any left. So I think we'll be able to get pretty close, but we'll see. All right, so we got our 1/8 teaspoon of that mixed in, and now what I did, I mixed it with strawberry, which is my favorite red color. However, this one is the bleeding version, so don't try to laminate this. But I'm going to put about 20 drops of strawberry in here. So we've got our 20 drops in there, and it takes that lava craw, which is already an incredible color, and it almost like brightens it. So adding that red to it, and you can use probably your favorite color of red. This strawberry just happens to be mine, and it's almost like it just takes that lava craw to the next level. It's just absolutely incredible. And then from there, we are going to take our Siren Scales, and we have Triton. We're going to go with a 1/4 teaspoon, and as per usual, it's going to be a nice heaping scoop. Get all that stirred in. Oh yeah. So the Triton in those Siren Scales has a lot of orange to it. So the way the orangish color plays off of this lava craw just looks really, really nice. And then the last thing we're going to do is go with the 0.04 black flake. My 1/4 teaspoon has a lot of stuff on it, so I'm going to use my 1/16, and I'm going to put a couple pretty big scoops in there. We're going to get all this completely mixed up and stirred in, and we're going to inject this first run and see how it turned out. Mold is cooled off. It's time to check these out. Of course, they don't want to come out on the same side for us, but these things look incredible. Let me pull a couple of these off of here and we'll take a closer look. If you guys fish anywhere where your crawfish are red, definitely try this. So you can see as I move this back and forth, you get that awesome kind of orange to red color shift. That Barlow's Lava Craw looks incredible by itself, but when you add that red to it, and you want to use a pretty potent red color, but it just really, it's almost like it brightens and enhances that color shift. So you can see like the more orange to red. You've got the Triton Siren Scales that really, like I said, they put off a lot of orange, which matches this color, and then just a little bit of black flake to kind of break it all up. But just absolutely killer color. For all of you Delta guys, definitely give this color a shot. So here's a good look at color number 1. Now I'll show you guys our little twist on some black and blue. So to start with this color, we're obviously just going to use black. I'm going to go 30 drops. And that was 30 drops for 3/4 of a cup. I've been going off of 3/4 of a cup a lot more than 1 cup. I find I just have a lot less waste because a lot of the injections that I'm doing, I don't actually need the whole cup of plastic. So just the reasoning behind that. Now on this black side, we're going to go with the 0.04 True Blue Hex Flake. I'm going to use my 1/4 teaspoon, and I'm going to go with 2 pretty big scoops of that. Now this is not going to be a laminate. I'm actually getting out the C block for this one. I really like this True Blue color in the flake. I only have the 0.040 size, but they do offer it in other sizes now, so I will be ordering that soon. But that's all we're doing for the black side. And then for the blue side, we're just going to take blue from dead on. I'm going to go 25 drops in this one. So we're going to get our blue mixed in. We're going to have to heat this plastic back up here in a second. It's starting to cool off really fast. And then for anybody wondering if this blue color is going to be thick enough to be seen swirling with the black, it is not, and that is on purpose. And then for flake, we're going to add our 0.015 royal blue, and we're going to go with just 1 of the scoops of the 1/4 teaspoon for that. And you will see the reasoning behind why I'm purposely making this blue a little bit thinner when we get it all injected, and I can explain it once you see it. So as you can see, we're super cold. We're going to get these warmed back up, and we're going to inject through our C block. One of the things I do when I inject my C block is I don't put it parallel or perpendicular to the mold. I like to run it at about a 45-degree angle. I feel like that's what gives me that best kind of mix swirl, which the C stands for camo, but camo pattern. So that is how I like to put my C block when I inject. For anyone unfamiliar with the C block, I'll show you how it works. So it takes your 2 colors, there's that little divider plate in the middle, but it takes your 2 colors and splits it into 4 separate ports. So your 2 colors turn into the 4 separate ports, and what it does is it creates kind of a, it's not a swirl, but it's more, they call it a camo pattern. So like you're not going to see swirl marks like if you were milking the cow with your injector. You are going to get different baits every single time you use the C block, but this is how it works. Now let's check out these baits. I tried to demold it pretty, but they came off just everywhere. But this is what you're left with when you mix that thinner blue with the thicker black. In certain baits, you'll get those blue like appendages around the edges, and for the most part, it still looks like a black bait, but you get that just little touch of blue kind of scattered throughout the bait, especially when using that C block. So we'll pop a couple off and take a closer look. And here's a good look at what you're left with. So when you C block the thicker black with thinner blue, you get that blue tint around like the edges and the extremities, but the bait is still relatively dark and black. Now you will see, like on this one in particular, there was a heavy concentration of that blue right there, so you do get that bright blue right there on the edge. But for the most part, this is what your baits are going to look like. And if you make the blue a little bit thinner, every bait will look like this, but I like to do it to about that, the 25 to 30 drops roughly, so you will get some areas like that with that really bright blue look. But that's just a nice little twist on some black and blue baits. Let me know what you guys think. So some of the ways that I have had success with this bait already is obviously just a straight up Texas rig. What I like about this bait is you have these ridges on the back that you can bury that hook point in to expose it, so it's extremely weedless, but then very easily your hook pops out. But Texas rig has been number one. Number two has been a jig trailer. So what I do is I cut that bait off right at the top of those upper appendages and then take the appendages off. And this one has been really productive on the back of a jig. That's just a green pumpkin color with that motor oil flake from Barlows. That has been a really good way to catch them. One of the ways you're probably not used to seeing it, so I made some just white ones out of some remelt that I had and threw it on the back of a buzzbait and actually did really well. And then talking with Billy, the owner of Hog Salad Molds, who designed this, he said that he has also thrown this on a spinnerbait. One thing I do want to touch on, so these upper appendages, he said he did not design these upper appendages to have a ton of action like these back ones. The legs on the back of this kick really hard. The ones up here on the top have a really tight wobble. And he said the reason for that is, think of these as almost like little stabilizers for applications like this. These little appendages up at the front almost help keep the bait balanced and level and tracking in the right direction. And then that fish that you guys saw at the very beginning was actually caught on this exact bait right here. I still have it tied on, so I was throwing it weightless. Same thing, I just have that hook point Texpose, and I was basically fishing it like a frog. I was throwing it out just on a weightless hook and reeling it across the top of the water. I was bringing it over the top of some lay down trees that were in the water and had that nice fish come up and eat this one. So there are tons of ways that you can rig this little bait. It is extremely universal. And like I said at the beginning, it'll basically do everything for you except set the hook. And there you go, guys. There's the first look at this old Buzzard mold from Hog Salad. Speaking of Hog Salad, I am now an affiliate with them. So if any of you guys want to help out the channel, there will be an affiliate link for them down below if you want to check out any of these molds. If not, no harm, no foul. I'm going to continue to keep making these. And like I said, they do have a tail mold for this as well. It is also a 6 cavity, so you get the exact same amount of tails that you need for the mold itself. I will be covering the tail mold in the next video. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, liked some of these colors. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you on the next one.